What's up, YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to use Dipplin in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, leave it below in the comment section of the video. And if you like these videos, if they help you out, drop a like on the video and let's get into it. So Dipplin is the new Pokemon from the Teal Mask, and it's got some interesting stats, abilities, and moves. So let's check them out. So we got the same grass and dragon typing, so 4 times weak to ice, and we've got a 80 in health, defense, 110 and 80 in special defense for base, and a respectable 95 base in special attack. Obviously, it was, judging by its looks, it was going to be quite a slow Pokemon, so that's alright. It doesn't need to be super fast. Now, funnily enough, even though we haven't got an evolution for Dipplin, the item Everlight actually works on it, which tells me that it's going to get an evolution in the future. So I'm going to be actually looking at a bulky Everlight set here to begin with. Now, as for Terra types, I think Steel works the best for it. Even over all my movesets, I'm pretty much going for Steel. Obviously, it covers its 4 times weakness very, very well, and it just works, really. Another one you could do could be Dragon, maybe Fire. That's really about it. I would probably be doing Steel a Terra on this thing every single set, because it's just really, really nice with its 4 times weakness. And also, being a bulky Pokemon, it can't be poisoned by, toxic either, so it does really work out nicely. So the first set here, there are a few different moves you can use, but I'm going to be doing a bulky special defensive set. Now, this could be run a couple of ways with different EVs and stuff like that, but I've got Max Elf, of course, and we've got Max Special Defense Sassy Nature, so I'm making this one special defensive. And we've got Recover, which is a great move for this. We've got Giga Drain. It actually gets Infestation too, which is quite nice. And Dragon Breath. Now, the reason I gave it Dragon Breath was to spread paralysis. It does get Dragon Pulse if you want that too. But I don't think it's super duper cut out to be a real powerful special attacker. I have done builds for a special attacker, but I think it's more of a support style Pokemon. Now, as for abilities, we've got 3 abilities. We've got a new ability called Super Sweet Syrup. And what this does, upon swapping it in, the Pokemon lowers the evasiveness of the opponent by 1 stage, and it can happen once per battle. So virtually your moves are going to be more accurate if that Pokemon does, stay in. And really, that's not a huge thing specifically for Dipplin, because it doesn't really get any lower sort of accuracy moves apart from its signature move, which I'll show you in a sec. So it's not super any per se for Dipplin, but it might be good in a double situation, which I'll get to in a bit. We've also got Gluttony, which can work there, and we've got Sticky Hold. I feel like Sticky Hold is probably the superior ability, because that means it's not going to be able to lose its Everlight. Someone can't trick its item away. So that means it's going to remain bulky. So that's going to be a really, really positive thing for it. Now, another way you can run this, you can run it very, very defensively. This would absolutely work too. Let me just adjust that. So say we got max defense here, and we can go Bold Nature. I can see this one. That's a really, really nice defensive wall. And you could even go for stuff if we were to mix up some of its moves. Let's say we wanted to go Impish or something let's go Impish, or actually we'll do, I was thinking Relax. So we could go Relaxed, and we could get rid of Infestation, and it could serve as a nice Dragon Tail Pokemon too. So, and you could put something on there Gyro Ball, that could work too. So that's sort of another way to actually run this Pokemon. So we've got Recover, Dragon Tail, so it'd be great. So say if you have a Pokemon on your team with entry hazards like Stealth Rock, Spikes, etc., that's going to work great. And we've also got Gyro Ball too, so it's going to do some alright damage there with a Terra Steel, and with 0 IVs and speed, it's going to be hitting quite hard against real fast Pokemon. You could add on its signature move here, which I will actually. And that signature move is called Syrup Bomb. So Syrup Bomb's quite a interesting move. It's a 60 base power. It's got 85% actually, which isn't that great. However, if you are running Super Sweet Syrup, it's going to be increased why that opponent's Pokemon is in there. But yeah, what that does is it drops the speed of the opponent by 1 stage for 3 turns. So, for example, if the opponent kept their Pokemon in for 3 turns, it will drop that stat by 1 every single turn. The thing I see about this is it's probably better for causing a swap rather than the opponent staying in there. So I think it's quite good for causing a swap. So you use it, and then a speedy Pokemon may swap out, and that may cause you to be able to go for another Dragon Tail or something like that. So that's quite good. Or say if you got like a speedy Pokemon left and the opponent doesn't really want to swap out, you can go for Syrup Bomb. It does a little bit of damage and drops some speed, so it could be quite good to bring another Pokemon into revenge KO or something like that. I think it's not like a stupidly broken move, but it's okay. It's not bad at dropping the speed and stuff like that. I think it's probably played right to make the opponent swap. That's how I feel it'd be good for. And if you had, like, say for example, you had Spikes and Stealth Rock on the field and stuff like that, that could work in your favor too, because then they'd have to be like, oh, well, I got to swap this out, I'm going to take some more damage, and then you can sort of couple that with Dragon Tail. So I feel like that's a good way to play this in singles. You could play this in, I'm not saying you couldn't play this in doubles either, but I've got another doubles or VGC style set that could probably work even better than this. But that would be my suggestion too. I just like Sticky Hole with Everlight because, once its Everlight's gone, it's not going to be nowhere near as bulky for sure. But you could run Super Sweet Syrup if you'd like on there, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like super duper handy. I like Sticky Hole better in singles, even doubles, like to retain that Everlight and stuff like that. All those knockoff Pokemon rolling around and stuff like that. So anyway, that's my first Dipplin set. Now let's have a look at more of an offensive set. Now I'm not saying it's the greatest special attacker in the world, but let's consider it as a bulky special attacker for a moment. So I've got Item and Everlight as Everlight, of course. Sticky Hold as the ability. We've got Syrup Bomb, Terra Blast Steel, Recover, and Draco Meteor. So I feel like this could do some nice damage as well. And you could also recover yourself off and swap out, and then you could, hit pretty hard with it. It's quite tanky all around, and it's got a respectable special attack stat, so it's going to be, a reasonably hard-hitting Pokemon. And Draco Meteor is not going to tickle either on, especially like neutral swap-ins and stuff. Maybe they'll expect you to be quite passive, and you can get some extra damage off there. And you can also, fire off Syrup Bomb as well to drop some speed and things like that. Another move you might put on there, if you don't want to have Terra Blast on there, you could have Infestation. That could work too. So you could sort of like get some extra damage there against the opponent. But I feel that's probably a little bit better on like support style sets. So you could keep Terra Blast on there as well. It doesn't get a huge variety of moves. Like it's kind of barrenish. So it's sort of like got what it has within like its realms of like Grass and Dragon and your Terra and maybe that. But it doesn't really get too much else outside of that for like at least offensive moves. So that's a way you could run it as well. I'm thinking like, yeah, I still like Sticky Hold on there. You could, if you really wanted to, you could try and give it like choice specs or some more damage output, but you're sort of getting rid of having Recover or any other status moves. So I probably wouldn't go for that sort of thing, and you're losing all your bulk too. So yeah, so I think that's a respectable special attacker. Maybe definitely more of a meme compared to like the Everlight variant sets, but it could work. Now let's have a look at some doubles strategy here. So this one is, you could work this one two ways. So I like Super Sweet Syrup and Sticky Hold can both work here. Let me explain why. So I've explained why with Sticky Hold. So if you got any Pokemon with knockoff or any like Pokemon that try and get rid of your items like Trick and things like that, you can stop that. But mainly stuff like knockoff. With the Super Sweet Syrup, I believe this could be very handy for your ally. Not so much Dipplin itself, but your ally. So say, for example, you've got a Pokemon with like Rock Slide and stuff like that. That could be quite handy, or like low accuracy moves, so you wouldn't have to worry about missing as much per se. And for example, right, if they're gonna swap out, well, if they don't like you having that evasiveness drop on them, they're gonna have to swap out. So that could be definitely beneficial for sure. So that I could see both of those abilities working. I guess you could say a pseudo sort of gravity, I guess, for like lower accuracy moves and stuff like that. You might be able to work it around there, but it only activates once per battle. So once you've swapped it in, and that's, obviously that's pretty much it. So you're going to make real use of it. But I guess Sticky Hole would probably be the more safer one to go for, because it's always going to be in effect like the whole time. So that's something to think about there with the Super Sweet Syrup or Sticky Hole. Now, as for the moveset here, I've made it a defensive set. I feel like this will work probably best for doubles, and that's a very, very big defensive set. So 350 bowl with an Everlight, max health. That's a great, defensive wall there. Now, it's got some good support moves. That's Pollen Puff, which is great. So with Pollen Puff, you can heal your ally for 50% of the health, which is good. You've also got, of course, Syrup Bomb, which is going to be great too, dropping that speed, causing swaps, stuff like that. Of course, I'd put Recover on there too. And you've also got Dragon Breath. So I like Dragon Breath on this. I know it's a meme sort of move, but I like spreading that paralysis. It also does get Body Slam too if you want that, but I don't know. I feel like it's better just to have a Dragon move on there. You could put Dragon Pulse on there if you wanted some extra damage too, of course. If you weren't super fussed about like recovering off and those sort of things, you could just give it like Protect as well if you wanted to. If you feel like the battle's going to be too fast paced for recover, then put Protect on there. So I still believe that could absolutely work. As for Terra, I still would have Terra Steel. I don't know. Terra Steel seems to be like just really, really good for it. Or you could have Terra Dragon on there too. We've sort of gone over these ones already. I don't think there's many Terras that are going to work super well on it. And if anything, you probably don't want to be tearing it unless you really, really need it. So yeah, I would stick with Steel or Dragon or Fire. Something along those lines for sure. But Steel is just, in my opinion, is just the best in there. It covers its 4 times weakness, makes it immune to Toxic and stuff like that. And yeah, it just works very, very well. So yeah, you could run a defensive set like that. If you wanted to like mix the EVs up and make it like more like special defensive, you probably could do that too. Like, max special defense instead. But outside of that, I mean, you might be able to make like a bulky special attacker like I already did here, but I don't know. I feel like the support one's going to be the way to go if you're going to use it in doubles. And it's very, very bulky too. I like it. I like how defensive it is. Like that's I don't know, that defensive stat is really, like, even without Everlight, that's insanely good, So you've got like an extra 1.5 on top of that with Everlight. So very, very good defensive bulk there for sure. And it could, be dropping speed, healing your ally, just sponging attacks in general, spreading paralysis. So support is really where this Pokemon is going to shine for sure. Now, they're probably the most sort of competitive sets there, I would say, for Dipplin. I got some more memes here, and I've got some sort of, some other teammates encounters. Let's talk about some teammates and some counters before we get to some memes here. So, as for teammates, I would probably go with Heatran wouldn't be a bad teammate there. So, we got like Heatran, so that sort of covers its weaknesses there. So you've got like a swap in for any ice moves. That would be pretty good too. And you've also got Flash Fire there as well. And you've got Steel typing for any flying moves and stuff like that. So that's not a bad teammate. Another one that could work well would be Empoleon. I'm just thinking Empoleon's just in the game now. So you got that Steel type and Water type. So you're going to like quad resist ice, which is going to be super, super handy if you don't want to burn up your Terra Steel there. So that would be quite good for sure. And you resist flying and stuff like that too. So Empoleon's like a very, very good partner for that, or whether you're playing singles or doubles. Another one could be Cinderace too. Cinderace could be good. That could be a helpful Pokemon to run alongside it. What else? We got Dondozo. That would be a good one too. Dondozo, that'd be quite good. So that can sponge any ice-type moves. And just in general, it's a very, very good Pokemon in singles or doubles. As for counters, I would say something like Baxcalibur could be problematic because obviously it's an Ice-type Pokemon, and if you do go for Terra, it could still hit you with something like, I don't know, Earthquake if you go Terra Steel, and it could set up Dragon Dances against you, so it could pretty much nullify those drops from the Syrup, Signature Syrup move, so that could be problematic too as a counter. And Corviknight too. Corviknight could be a problem. Like, this Pokemon is fairly passive, right? Any fast taunting Pokemon too could absolutely be a problem too. And poison type Pokemon like I'm thinking like Toxapex. If you don't have a Terra Steel, that could really shut you down. There's quite a lot of counters for that because it obviously is a very passive Pokemon. So there's a couple of teammates and counters depending on you know, what sort of style you're playing, singles, doubles, or anything like that. Now let's have a look at a couple of like a stalling set. Now I did notice this actually got withdraw. Now you might laugh at withdraw, but you know, after a couple of withdraws, this thing is going to get some a really high defensive stat. So I've built this one special defensive. We've got Sassy Nature and we've got max health for that. So Sassy Nature. So on the topic of zero IVs too, this could absolutely work in Trick Room. Like, this could be a great Trick Room Pokemon, like in addition to your Trick Room team. So you can obviously adjust the nature accordingly, whether you're running Sassy, Relax, etc. like that. So Everlight, Sticky Hold, of course, and we've got Recover, Withdraw. It's got Infestation as well, and we've got Gyro Ball too. So Gyro Ball and Infestation is virtually the damage that it's doing. And it'll hit reasonably hard with Gyro Ball against any speedy Pokemon for sure. You've got the Terra type Steel too. And Infestation is just going to like slowly chip away at the opponent itself. A good partner for this would be something that's put Toxic Spikes on the field. Unfortunately, Dipplin doesn't get Toxic because you could do like a cool Toxic Infestation set, but I guess they wanted to steer clear of making this like a complete pain in the backside with that. But absolutely could work as a very bulky stalling Pokemon for sure. I'm thinking of any other. No, there's no real other Terras I would go for here. Terra Steel just works on this Pokemon. Another interesting thing you could probably have a look at here is Gluttony. This is definitely memes here for sure. We're definitely diving into meme territory. I thought you could run something kind of similar in EV spread to the last set, but a little bit differently. So we got Max Health and Max Special Defense, Sassy Nature, and it's got Gluttony. I thought, oh, you might be able to use Recycle Gluttony. That could be really fun. So you can have the Gluttony activating the Staffberry early on. Now, Staffberry randomly raises a stat by 2 stages. So you get yourself a little pseudo Moody going there, and you could get some real crazy. If you got like a couple of crazy boosts, like say if you got like a defense or special defense boost like right off the bat, and then you started recycling them back and doing it over and over again, that'd actually be a real pain to actually faint too. And if you go Terra type Steel, well then you can't be poisoned too. So that'd be a real big pain. So we've got Body Slam here because with Staffberry you can get an attack rise, you get a speed rise, you know, it could be anything. So with like this sort of set, it's better to go mix. That way it allows you to, Giga Drain's going to be a way of sustaining your health, doing damage, and a grass stab. And Body Slam is just, it's a physical move and to spread paralysis. So while you set up your Staffberry combination, if you didn't, I like the idea of recycle there. If you don't want like paralysis, you could try and deliberately force your Staffberry to activate with Substitute. But then you sort of left yourself just with Giga Drain, so you sort of are going to get countered heavily there. But I don't know, once you got like +6 and everything, I don't think it's going to matter too much in case there's like any like real big counters like, I don't know, Sap Sipper or something like that. But a bit of an interesting set there with Gluttony and Staffberry. Obviously, we're diving into a lot of memes here, but it's cool to like look at some other like little different setups that you can use. And finally here, we got a true PIMPNITE special. So we've got a Bullet Seed meme set. So I did notice it got Bullet Seed, and I was like, well, we might be able to drop some opponents with this amazing King's Rock set. So we've got Syrup Bomb, which we're going to drop the speed of the opponent, and we've got Protect. So we're going to like sort of use them together. We've got Body Slam to paralyze as well because this Pokemon isn't very fast, and we've got Bullet Seed too. So we're going to see if we can get a King's Rock flinch with Bullet Seed. And then we've got the EV Spreaders, Max Attack and Max Speed, Adam and Nature. I was going to go Jolly, but I was like, it's just going to be like way too weak. Not that it's changed it very much, but we want all the attack we can possibly get, right? As for its ability, I don't think it really matters too much. I don't think we're going to miss any of our moves here. They're all 100% accuracy, except for the Syrup Bomb, so that'd be nice initially. for that. So we'll keep its ability as a first use, I guess. But yeah, there you go. A true PIMPNITE special. Such an amazing, powerful moveset there. Let's have a look at some more stuff for Dipplin. I've pretty much gone over everything. As a great Everlight user. Really, really cut out for Everlight, for sure. So they did this in Sword and Shield for Slowpoke too. You know, they introduced Slowpoke Galar, and you could use Everlight on it. So that was like a clue that evolution was coming. So I wonder what it's going to evolve into. Anyway, let me show you a status moves. It isn't exactly what you call, it's not an abundant amount of moves here. We got Protect, Recover, Reflect would be wild with Everlight up. I don't think you'd need that though. It's got enough defense. Rest and Sleep Talk is something to think about too. So you could have like a Rest and Sleep Talk set. That'd be quite nasty. You've got Recover, I know, but that would be interesting. But I don't know. I don't think you really need that with Terra Steel and Recover. It's kind of a waste. Unless you really don't want to use a Terra on this. That could be another option for sure. Maybe you could do something like Terra Electric or Terra Normal, so you've got like one weakness. That could be something you could go for. I don't know. I'm like trying to think of other things you could use it for. Substitute's not super. So I mean, it could be all right, but I feel you'd struggle to fit that on there. We got Defense Curl and Withdraw. We've sort of gone over that. Grassy Terrain. It could be a Grassy Terrain setter. That could be another option. Growth is interesting. That's quite an interesting move, but it's going to be hard to fit that on there too. Recycle, we went over that. The thing about Recycle is you have to give up Everlight, so I think that's too memey and gimmicky. But if you want to run a gimmick, absolutely. Sunny Day Sweet Scent. There's not too much. Oh man, Sweet Scent and Super Sweet Syrup. That's incredible stuff there. Let's have a look at its special attacking moves. So once again, remember how I said it's only got like Grass Dragon and then Normal and like a couple of bug moves. That was virtually it. So it's very, very barren on the moves side there. So Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Energy Ball. I don't know. I quite like Giga Drain better. And that would be better. And Syrup Bomb better than Energy Ball. Unless you're running like a more offensive set. But I think Giga Drain outclasses it because it gives you recovery. Grass, not too situational. Leaf Storm, unless you're running Choice Specs or something, I don't see that very viable. Terra Blast Steel or something like that. That would be, I don't think I'd even use Terra Blast. And we got Dragon Breath. Not bad for spreading paralysis. Infestation was kind of cool on like a trapping set or just like annoying the opponent with extra damage. Polar Puff, great for doubles. And Syrup Bomb could be used singles and doubles as well. So that's its special moves. And let's check out its physical moves. You probably won't be using physical moves at all unless you're using something like Dragon Tail. I can absolutely see Dragon Tail working, and Body Slam for spreading paralysis, and Gyro Ball. That's sort of about it. I don't see anything else working. Grassy Glide you might be able to use, but it's so weak now because it got nerfed again. So yeah, I don't really see it doing too much. But anyway, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed today's guide. To sum things up, Dipplin is a wonderful defensive wall. Great Everlight user, great support Pokemon. Give it a go. It's going to be very, very good at that role. And it's got like a nice ability to back it up with Sticky Hold. And Super Sweet Syrup is kind of interesting too if you want to try and use that in doubles to increase your accuracy and stuff like that. Anyway, people, hope you enjoyed it. If you helped you out, if you liked it, drop a like on the video, and I'll catch you tomorrow for some more videos and guides. Peace out.